Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. It is quite amusing that we are told that the best way we can invest is become completely emotionless when we are making investing decisions. And I completely understand that sentiment because we don't want to let emotions control our decision makings. And that is not only true in investing, that's also true in most facets of our lives. However, it is amusing when we are told that, yet when you look at some individual companies, there is a lot of drama there. And that is definitely true for the company I'll be looking at today, Humm Group. And the reason I really want to focus on Humm Group, not only has there been a lot of drama in recent times, we have seen the share price pull back significantly. In fact, it was an absolutely awful week between 14th of June and 17th of June. Share price of this company fell a lot. And I'll focus on the news flow from the company and why the share price dropped a lot. And the drama in this company really came to the front or started coming to the front around 20th of December 2021, when the then chair, Andrew Abercrombie, resigned from his position. And that will become important later on this video. So just remember that name, Andrew Abercrombie. But before we look at all this drama around Humm Group, what does this company do? So this is their website right here. And it just says here, Humm Group is revolutionizing the way people pay. So yes, this is not a pure play buy now, pay later. They also have a commercial division called Flexi Commercial. But when you do look at their website, the main page, and their products, it is mostly featuring consumer-led products. Like the Humm Group products include Humm, Humm 90, Humm Pro, and Bundle. Unfortunately for Humm Group, buy now, pay later, which was hyped up to the max a few years ago, that hype has really fallen away. So this consumer-led side of their business has been suffering in recent months. And that has been playing its part in all the drama in Humm Group in recent times. So that's the most important thing when it comes to Humm. They have two divisions. The first one is that consumer-led division, and also they have that commercial division. Now let's have a look at the charts for Humm Group. And we really have seen an acceleration in the share price depreciation over the past 2 weeks. In fact, the share price has fallen 45% since June 7, from just above 80 cents to a current share price of 48 cents. And the share price has actually been in a well-defined downtrend since 2013. You're able to see that well-defined downtrend if we look at the monthly chart. So this monthly chart goes all the way back to 2006. And the share price reached a peak for this company, which was back then named Flexi Group, at around about $4.75. So the share price of this company has fallen from $4.75 to 48 cents. So instead of being a 10 bagger, it's been the complete opposite. So what's the opposite of a 10 bagger? 1/10 bagger. So really this company has not been successful, has not been a wealth winner for its shareholders. In fact, it's been a wealth destroyer for shareholders over the past 8 to 9 years. So that's not good news for the company, not good news for shareholders. And we have seen that acceleration in the share price depreciation over the past 2 weeks. And there is a reason behind that. And that's the focus and the reason or motivation for me doing this video today. Now let's get into the drama around this company, and it really began on the 20th of December 2021. So this is Comsec's website, just looking at all the announcements from Humm over the past year. I really want to focus on the last 6 months, or just over 6 months, because on the 20th of December, which is just over 1 or 6 months ago, Humm Group announces change of chair and receipt of proposals. And the market really reacted positively to this announcement, which makes sense. Share price rose 23%, not because Andrew Abercrombie, who was the chair, has stepped down. The reason why the market reacted really positively to this particular announcement was that Humm Group advised that he has received approaches from third parties to acquire all or part of Humm Group. So the market's thinking at this point in time, there is some value to Humm Group. If there's third parties willing to buy the whole company, that means these third parties do see value, and that's why the market got excited. So it didn't take long before we actually found out who one of those third parties was. In fact, it was only about 2 or 3 weeks later. And on 6th of January, we found out which company and this was an ASX listed company that was interested in buying parts of Humm Group. So Humm entered into a non-binding heads of agreement with Latitude for the sale of Humm Consumer Finance. So remember, Humm has two divisions, the consumer finance and the commercial division, for approximately $335 million. So on the surface, this looks like it could be a fairly good deal. And when you get into particulars of this particular proposed deal, it's a consideration of 150 million Latitude shares, and at $2, that's worth $300 million, and also $35 million worth of cash. But keep in mind that the Latitude share price at that point in time was $2. Now the Latitude share price is $1.27. So the consideration is considerably less if this deal went ahead. So at this point in time, the market was expecting some sort of deal, and the market didn't react all that much in regards to this particular announcement from the company. The other really interesting thing I want to point out about Humm Group, when you go to the website, it's all about their consumer finance products. You don't see any information on their commercial side of the business. And when you go to the About Humm Group in this particular announcement, right at the bottom or end of the particular announcement, this is what Humm Group calls or describes themselves as. Humm Group has developed some of Australia and New Zealand's most exciting and accessible consumer finance products, including Humm Bundle, Humm 90, and Humm Pro. Humm Group continues to design products around the core needs of financially savvy consumers spending. If you keep going on, there is actually no mention of their commercial side of the business. So it's really interesting that Humm Group itself is focusing on their consumer finance part of the business at this point in time. And then for the next month and a half, there might have been some negotiation between Humm Group and Latitude. And then on the 18th of February, finally, the two companies entered into a binding definitive agreement for Humm Group to sell its consumer finance to Latitude Group for that sum of $335 million. And the Humm Group's board was very happy about this announcement. If you go later in this particular announcement, the chairman, Christine Christian, actually said this is a transformational transaction for Humm Group that represents compelling value for shareholders. So they were very keen for this transaction to move forward. And that's going to be very important as we move later or over the next few months after this particular announcement. And then on the 3rd of March, 2022, the company released a letter to the shareholders in regards to this selling of their consumer finance to Latitude. And they just also talked about in this particular letter to the shareholders what they're going to do with the cash. And they just mentioned how they're going to retain full ownership of the Flexi commercial business. And the other most important thing here is this is a transformational opportunity for Humm Group and represents compelling value for all shareholders. So again, they're going down that line, and the board of Humm Group recommends shareholders vote in favour of the HCF transaction. And at this point in time, I don't think we had a date when they were going to let shareholders vote on the transaction. And then on the 4th of May, the company released a business update, how the company was performing in the third quarter 2022. And in this particular update, it's really important to note that they are distinguishing between how consumer finance is performing to the commercial leasing, and it's sort of night and day. The consumer finance has not been performing at well. It is struggling, while the consumer leasing division has been performing well. And this is what the CEO of Humm Group, Rebecca James, said in regards to this business update. Despite growth period on period, HCF volumes have been impacted by slower than anticipated return of travel spend and declining consumer sentiment. That declining consumer sentiment continues to this day. Headwinds, which we expected to continue into the next quarter. Our commercial and leasing business continues its strong performance, yada, yada, yada. And on the second page of this particular announcement, they go into how each division has been performing. I really want to focus on the net loss, the bottom of this table. So net loss refers to, net loss comprises gross write-offs less bad debt recoveries as a proportion of net receivables unless otherwise stated. And there's a vast difference between their consumer finance, which is between about 3% and 3.8%, for the third quarter of financial year 22, compared to commercial and leasing, which is around 0.6%. And then on the 18th of May, we actually got a date to when shareholders were going to vote for this transaction. And that date was the 23rd of June, 2022. So I am recording this video on the 21st of June. So this should be happening 2 days from now, which is on the Thursday. Is it going to be happening? Well, let's have a look at the continual news flow from this company over the past month. Now, because shareholders are going to have to vote for this particular transaction, and because the board of Humm Group are really in favour of this proposal, they're going to be selling the hell out of this transaction. They want to make it clear to shareholders why they should vote yes. So on the 30th of May, we received an announcement from the company in regards to the consumer finance update. And this is just them trying to sell the shareholders into voting yes. And so some of the points in regards to this particular announcement: the majority of directors strongly believe the sale of Humm Consumer Finance is a highly compelling value proposition for all Humm shareholders. Preliminary financial results indicate the consumer finance division has not been profitable in the 4 months to 30th of April 2022. There is a significant risk of Humm's share price declining if shareholders do not approve the HCF sale. No alternative proposals for the consumer finance has been received in spite of the Humm board considering strategic alternatives for an extended period of time and canvassing potential options. And neither the HCF sale nor the capital return, including the distribution of Latitude shares, require scheme approval. So they're really selling the hell out of this particular proposal. But if I was Latitude, I'd be looking at some of these points and I'll be questioning whether actually purchasing Humm's consumer finance was a good option for Latitude, particularly because it has not been profitable. And at this point in time, Humm Group's management is completely selling down or dismissing their consumer finance division. And then on the 6th of June, something actually really interesting happened. And this was a director interest change in regards to Andrew Abercrombie. Remember the old chair who resigned on the 20th of December 2021. So he has a lot of shares. And he bought 2.662 million shares at a value of $2.1 million. So this was on the 6th of June. And I actually did notice this. And I was like, what's happening here? Why is Andrew Abercrombie starting to buy more shares in Humm Group? Not only that, that was on the 6th of June. We also got a director's interest change on the 8th of June, the 10th of June, the 15th of June, the 16th of June. And this was Andrew Abercrombie, buying more shares in Humm Group. So this was a fascinating turn of events when it comes to this particular proposal for Latitude buying Humm's consumer finance. And this was when I started paying attention to what was happening with Humm Group. So Andrew Abercrombie is buying heaps of shares of Humm Group. And now we go to the week where we saw the share price of this company fall by something like 30 to 40%. The 15th of June, the day after we saw the market fell or fall by about 3.5%. And this was just an update to the consumer finance sale. And this was what the chair, Christine Christian, actually said. The majority directors are aware of a number of public statements made by Andrew Abercrombie relating to the proposed Humm commercial consumer finance. The majority of directors believe that several of these comments are misleading and that therefore it is vital that Humm shareholders are provided with the facts in order to make an informed decision about how to vote at next week's general meeting on Thursday, the 23rd of June. So it's pretty obvious at this point in time, the reason why Andrew Abercrombie is buying shares is because he doesn't want this proposed transaction to go through. And more than likely, one of the reasons he did resign on the 20th of December was because he could have been pushed because he wasn't in favor of this particular transaction by Humm Group. And there was some statements here in regards to what Andrew Abercrombie said and then the facts. And what Humm Group's management was doing here is really downplaying how good the consumer finance division is actually going. So, for instance, Andrew Abercrombie stated Humm is one of only 2 profitable buy now, pay later players in Australia. The Humm's consumer finance is going well. It is growing as it emerges from COVID. But management said Humm's buy now, pay later is not profitable and it is not growing. So again, wouldn't Latitude be reading this and going, well, wait on, why are we buying this division again? I'm not sure. This should be sending a lot of doubts into Latitude management's mind. Another statement that Andrew Abercrombie said, as part of the deal, Latitude is getting $106 million of our own cash on our balance sheet. Humm Group's management said that's wrong. Another statement from Andrew Abercrombie, Humm did not conduct a public auction sale process, and the Latitude agreement discouraged interested parties coming forward that might have attracted a higher offer. Humm Group management said that's wrong. And Latitude's offer grossly undervalues the Humm's consumer finance. And then the Humm Group's management came back and said the independent expert is unambiguous. Latitude's offer does not undervalue Humm's consumer finance. But at this point in time, I think Latitude's management are going, well, maybe back then in January, it might not have undervalued Humm's consumer finance, but you just said it's not profitable, it's not growing, so maybe it does now overvalue or undervalue or whatever HCF. So at this point in time, it's really getting interesting that there's a lot of drama right now in Humm Group and this proposed transaction of their consumer finance by Latitude. And this is one of the reasons why share price of this company was falling a lot at this point in time. But there was actually more to come in the next few days. And then on the 16th of June, Humm Group released a trading update. And again, just like we saw in the previous trading update on the 4th of May, there was a big disparity between the performance of the consumer finance and the commercial. For instance, this is what Christian said about the performance of Humm Group to this point in time. The trading environment is very tough for consumer finance with intense competition, rising interest rates, and weakening consumer sentiment. Consumer finance has experienced a reduction in net receivables, net yield compression, and high expenses. Again, Latitude probably read that and went, oh, are we making the biggest mistake of our lives here? As a result, profits are materially lower as compared to this time last year. Year-to-date cash NPAT is down approximately 61%. Without enhanced scale, which the Latitude transaction will deliver, the outlook for consumer finance will be even more challenging. Conversely, Humm's commercial business continues to grow strongly with volumes, net receivables, and cash NPAT or profit well above the same period last year. So at this point in time, I am thinking, why would Latitude want to buy consumer finance division of Humm, even though they do mention here that without that enhanced scale, so they're saying there's going to be more scale if Latitude does acquire this part of the division of Humm Group. So a lot of interesting things going with Humm Group right here. Share price fell significantly on the back of this particular announcement, but there's more to come in this story. So at this point in time, I was wondering why Latitude was buying the consumer finance division from Humm. So was it a surprise that on the 17th of June, this proposed transaction was terminated? In light of the current major disruption in financial markets, Humm Group and Latitude Group Holdings have mutually agreed to terminate the proposed sale of Humm Consumer Finance to Latitude. Accordingly, the general and scheme arrangement meeting scheduled to occur on Thursday, the 23rd of June, 2022, will be cancelled. And I'm not sure if this was mutually agreed. I don't believe that comment, particularly because Humm Group's management were completely dissing the consumer finance division. And then it also mentioned in the next paragraph, the board of Humm continues to believe that Humm's consumer finance is a high quality business and intends to review HCF's strategic direction to focus on its core products and markets in order to restore profitability. So I would not be surprised if there is a significant overturn or a change in management for this company. We would not be surprised to see Andrew Abercrombie come back onto the board because of what has transpired in Humm Group over the past few months. So that's all I have for this look at Humm Group and all the drama this company has faced over the past 6 months. And we have seen a significant drop in the share price. Now, right now, it's 4 p.m., so trading day has come to a completion. And it does look like the share price of Humm Group, for some reason, popped up. So remember, when I started this video, share price was actually down 4%. Now it's up 7%. So a lot of buying has come in. In fact, it really came in hard. I'm looking through the course of sales, And in the last, say, 15 minutes or so, share price has increased from 50 cents to 53 on fairly good volume as well. So maybe there has been some sort of announcement, 23rd of the 7th, no announcement, or there was just a HUMM notice of cancellation of general meeting. So for some reason, someone in the market has been buying this company pretty hot. Maybe the market itself has gone up a lot. No, in fact, the market has gone down from when I started this video, now only up 1.27%. So really interesting happenings with Humm Group. If you have any further insight, I'd love to hear it. I haven't really been following this story too closely, but I do find it fascinating that you do see a lot of drama at times on the ASX, in particular on or in individual companies, and drama in boards itself. We're supposed to be as emotionless as possible when we are making investing decisions, but when the boards of companies don't remain emotionless themselves, it is sometimes is hard to justify how we can ourselves be or remain emotionless. Now, if you do want to leave any sort of comment, leave it on the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.